Alright guys, how's it going? Awesome Soul here. And today, we are in the pit with a familiar, at least to some of you, but this is the Talon. This is a Freejam designed bot that you were able to pick up, I can't quite remember how long ago, but it was a fairly long ago. It's still to this day my favorite Freejam designed bot. It just functions really well. I'm not really that big of a fan of flyers, but I make an exception for the Talon. All the time. No matter what. I don't know, there's just something about it. It's not the tankiest bot. It's not the fastest bot. It's not the most agile bot. But it has this charm to it. It's got a lot of redundancy, which I like. As far as the wings go, the tail section has always been a bit of a problem for the bot. But it's not a death sentence. Then again, flyers have always been sort of in a tricky spot as far as balance goes. Because buff wings too much, and then you're just buffing T-sticks and drones and stuff, because, you know, they use rudders too. But what I would like is an electroplate variant. Maybe not necessarily... like, don't buff the maneuverability, because like I said, that would buff drones and stuff. But what I'm thinking, buff the... hey, there we go. Buff... not buff, but basically add electroplated variants of all movement parts. So if you want to spend a bunch of extra CPU and have a lot of extra health, you can. Because I really think that wings definitely need it. Because in order to make a proper, or at least what I want to make as a proper flyer, would be more along the lines of this Talon here. Like wings on the outside so they actually look like wings. And I don't want to be flying a giant cardboard box, as which most flyers tend to look like nowadays. It's not necessarily a negative thing. I mean, some of them can look really cool. Like, take the Thundercloud, for instance. That was a pretty dang awesome flyer. And it had a bunch of, I think, the smallest rudders packed inside. And it performed really well. Maybe not so much anymore. But it did at one point. I don't know how well it functions currently. I haven't really seen too many people using them, so I'm going to say its glory days are over. The Tesseract has kind of taken its spot in the, well, spotlight. So, a little unfortunate. But, maybe we'll see it come back. Who knows? Because it was like the top of the shop for ages. But that's the thing. With flyers, you have to get really creative if you want to make it super viable. Alright, let's get some healing going. There we go. Much better. So, it seems like people are actually playing the pit, which is nice. Because for a while, I thought that nobody played the pit. So, I told a certain somebody not to play it, because he was too low leveled. I'm like, oh, you'd get matched up with higher ranks. Apparently not, so I'll have to go reinform him of the awesomeness that is the pit. I don't know, this... I think a lot of people are kind of in the same boat that I am. Like, it came out and everyone's like, oh my god, the pit's fantastic. It's amazing. Greatest thing ever. And then they stopped playing. Which is pretty much what I did. A lot of people did that as well in my little group of friends. I don't know, it's fun. I think the main reason is... Can we? No, damn. I think the main reason is you can't platoon with it. You have to go in alone, and obviously with a group of friends, you want to be with that group of friends. So that's a real big negative. I think once they get around to adding the party game slash whatever they called it. It was like a party game mode. Basically, you could make a custom lobby and then fill it with people. And you could, you know, restrict bots and restrict guns and... I don't know. It'd be really cool, but... Alas. It's... Oof, I don't know. Is it coming in Phase 3, or... Is that, like, past this whole phase thing? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but that's coming. So maybe once we get that, then perhaps we will see Pit being used a lot more often, because obviously you'll be able to go with your friends into the Pit if you had this custom game thing. I guess, speaking more to that, I'm hoping that it becomes, like, I don't know, I guess... Halo 3 levels of creative custom game making, because we got super awesome things out of that, like good old Fat Kid came out of that, which has been played in Gary's mod. It came over from Halo 3, which is pretty cool. Actually, maybe it was in Halo 2. No, I think it was just Halo 3 that Fat Kid happened. I don't know, basically, if you don't know what Fat Kid is, one person is the Fat Kid, and they're super slow, and then... Boom, there we go. And then the other people are, well, I guess just humans, I guess you could say. Then they're just trying to escape from the Fat Kid's clutches. And then if the Fat Kid manages to eat you, then you'd be turned into a skinny kid, which would be very, very low armored and low health player. But you would go like triple your normal speed. So people would just get swarmed by these if they didn't pay attention. So maybe not necessarily that, but something like that creative, because that was made using you know, it's gone through a few name changes, but I think it was just called Infection back then. So they made that using the Infection, which was basically just, you know, one person's a zombie, and they make more zombies. And they made something that creative out of that. So hopefully we get a lot of creative freedom in, really? You're gonna spawn right behind me? That's cool. Hopefully we get a lot of creative freedom when it comes to custom game modes in Robocraft. Like, if you wanted to make... I'd love to make Fat Kid in Robocraft. But, I guess how that would work is... Because they say you can restrict things, so maybe you could restrict CPU. And hopefully you can restrict things per player, so, like, give a certain player a handicap out of your friend group who, like, is a lot more experienced than some of the newbies. I don't know. Anyways, going into... what was I getting at? Ah, yes. So, basically, one person would be a max CPU tank or mech. Like, you'd be limited to tank tracks only, but you could use all CPU. And then the quote-unquote regular players would have, like... Well, there goes my tail. That's no good. I don't know, maybe 800 CPU to work with. And then they would have to try and escape from this giant massive tank. Or maybe the Fat Kid would be a Megabot? That would make a lot more sense, actually. Yeah, make the Fat Kid a Megabot. So people are constantly on the run from the Megabot. And then... I don't know how they would do this, because there is no bot switching mid-game mechanic currently in the game. And I don't think there ever will be, from the sounds of it. But it would be kind of cool. So maybe when you die, you respawn, and you have to pick a new bot that is, like, 400 CPU. And that would be the quote-unquote skinny kid. That would be super fast and running around everywhere, trying to, sorry, I'm just making sure my cat doesn't knock over my headphones. Yes, she's back, and she's here to annoy us. I don't know. She's not really that annoying. Anyways, so yeah, something like that. I don't know if that would even be possible. Wow, okay, I won. Cool. But yeah, something like that would be really cool. I know that was kind of rambly, as usual, but hopefully I got my point across. Not bad. Not the highest damage, second place for damage, but I got the most points. And highest streak was legendary. I don't know if that's better than unstoppable. I think unstoppable is above legendary. Or maybe not, I can't remember. Anyways. Backing out. So, I guess two things, really. Whoa. That's quite a bit of money. I wasn't expecting to get that much out of such a low robot ranking, bot. Oh well. Yeah, two things. What kind of older bots are you guys holding on to that you just can't get rid of? I have a few, but the Talon is definitely something I'm going to be hanging on to possibly forever, because I don't know, it's just a really cool bot. Like, I mean, I haven't even taken the mask off of this thing to use on anything else. Although I do believe I have a second set of the Eagle mask. I bought that during the big sale a while back. And the other thing, when it comes to this custom games lobby thing that Freejam has talked about, what exactly would you guys like to see out of it? What kind of features, what kind of existing quote-unquote community game types, whether it be from, well, any game really, what would you like to see in Robocraft? As far as, you know, creativeness goes. Yeah, you got the idea. Alright guys, I've been the Awesome Soul, and I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.